Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Podcast. Yeah, setting up stuff. Make sure topics are in order. Doo-doo. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Just straight living it up. Yo, we got tech and music up in this bitch. Ooh, you know it. We got tech and music. We got me scrambling to set stuff up in the background. Man, we got it all. We doing it up big for the podcast. You know what I'm saying? We doing it up big. Ooh, feeling your soul. Oh. Oh. Okay. I think I'm ready to go. I don't know. Let me double check. Make sure I have like shit written down. Yes, yes. Okay. I got my tea. Ah, fuck. Tea's hot. Tastes good though. Oh, right before that beat drop. Ooh, it's a podcast. Yeah, we up in it. As you can see, I'm joined by my special guest, D's Nuts, because my two other co-hosts were shitheads and they decided to cancel last minute. So we are here doing a fucking podcast. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about this week. Nothing really happened. It's kind of hard doing like a weekly fighting game podcast because like I don't know, not too much shit happens in the fighting game community that's like, unless you want to get super drama filled and be a bitch about it, but like otherwise, you know, not too much shit goes down. So, you know, I guess this episode is mostly going to be like me talking and then talking to the chat too, cuz chat interaction is pretty cool and kind of more related to like playing fighting games and maybe like the mind game behind playing fighting games. So, I'm going to get started talking about Street Fighter V. So, the big piece of news, relatively big piece of news, that happened this week is that Capcom announced that they were punishing rage quitters. Capcom Unity, there we go. Capcom, they're doing the people who are super rage quitters, so not people who like disconnect every once in a while when they start to get mad, or like the people who are pretty good and then to hold the win streak they will rage quit. Those people pretty much aren't being affected. It's the people who have like a 80 to 90% disconnect rate in their ranked matches. So it's the really obvious, hey dude, you be rage quitting type people. Those are the people that are being, they're getting their LP reset. They're not being banned, but this is like the first warning. From the wording, it says blah blah blah, March update coming soon. So we got no update on March. We don't really know what's coming from that. We do know that Alex is going to be in the March update, and that the store is also supposed to be coming in that one. So I'd be interested to see what you can buy. Other known issues, blah 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 blah. Okay, so I think it's interesting that this is the approach they're taking, instead of like going in hard on people who are rage quitting. It's kind of more of like, yo, if you're really mad that this dude rage quit at you, send us videos, and if we get like 5 from the same person, we'll look into it. That's how it feels for me. Yeah, I think it's good. There has to be some form of penalty, but I think maybe putting like a low priority queue in for rage quitters would have been something that I don't see why that wasn't implemented in the first place. You know what I mean? It's a game that was released in 2015. It was 16, excuse me. Time moves so fast. 2016, and it had no penalty to rage quitting. It had like 4 betas. That's kind of crazy. People were rage quitting in the beta, and of course, there's no penalty, which is no big deal. But the fact that the game was released and there's like no low priority queue is ridiculous. And Brandon, I know you would have, and I appreciate that, but I figured you were gonna be here in the chat room, and there was a couple of people who were in that situation. There was like 6 people where I could have called them, and they would have come through, and I really do value that. But I figured I'll make the whole episode talking to people in the chat, so it's gonna be like me, the chat room, and D's nuts. So that's that's the current plan. Plus, I thought it was a funny joke to have D's nuts in the podcast. So yeah, what's going on, Johnny? So yeah, I don't know, man. I think Street Fighter, it's obviously a step in the right direction, but I mean, why the fuck was this not implemented earlier? It's really interesting that this is the way it went. Yeah, I mean, this podcast is really off the dome, because both of my usual co-hosts were dicks. Not dicks. I mean, one of them was. The other one, I guess I understand. So, you know, I didn't really know what to do. I got home, and then it was like an hour to set up on the podcast. I was like, man, what should I do? I know, I'll make memes. Dank memes. So that's what I did. That's what we're rolling with. So you switched to Dalsum. Okay, so this brings me into Street Fighter 5 talk. Most of the people who watch the stream, I think it's safe to say, they are mostly Street Fighter 5 players. Not necessarily don't play other fighting games, but Street Fighter 5 is their main game, with other people being the exception, right? So like Brandon is sick as fuck in Marvel. I've seen him play in person, but he also plays Street Fighter 5. But I think the majority of people who are watching the stream are mostly Street Fighter 5 players. So I think if I make this mostly about Street Fighter 5, not too many people are gonna mind. So Dalsum is not the same as he was in 4. Chun is kind of similar to the way she was in 4, but she's very different. A lot of the buttons that she has to use is different. A lot of characters did not transfer the same way. Ryu is similar, of course, because he's Ryu, but he is definitely kind of different. He's more Daigo status, Ryu. Like, this is a Daigo-like character, but Daigo, that doesn't mean that Daigo is necessarily playing him correctly right now. Daigo still has, Daigo still needs time. Ken is not at all really what he was like in 4. He's way more derpy. He's much closer to Yun than he is to Ken. He's like Ken and Yun. If like Ken and Yun fused and just became bullshit incarnate, that's what this Ken would be. So that's what we have. Yeah, so I think the tier, like, we made a tier list last week. It was mostly just because it was something to do. I don't necessarily agree with it. I think right now, some of the harder to win with characters in the game are still ridiculously good. Like, Bison is, I feel, a little bit lacking compared to the rest of the cast, but he's still a really strong character. If you do all the dirty shit with Bison, then it's like he's not even lacking. There's nothing that's missing, especially if you're on the ball. But, if you don't get that health lead and you have to get in somehow, then Bison struggles. But he's ridiculously strong when he's not. So the hard characters in the game, or like the characters with less options, are still incredibly tournament viable. Bison got second place at the first major, the first Capcom Pro Tour major. That's ridiculous, and he makes top 8 in like every tournament he goes through. There's always a Bison player. So, man, stuff is the game is pretty balanced. The only character that there is no character that's notably ass besides Mika Kappa. But Fang is a little more struggling. He's definitely a kind of struggle tier. That's not to say you can't win with Fang. I feel like he's like Ultra DJ in that he's not necessarily the best character, but he's not by any means like a super bad character. I don't know, it's interesting. Laura is definitely not low tier. Laura literally just won a major. It's like, come on. And World Combo is beating ass all over Japan, and Laura won a major. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's a lot of debate, I guess. People have been talking to me like, yo, what do you think of this character? Like messaging me on Steam. I'm like, bro, like, just play who you like. Really, what's cool about this game is you can just play who you like. But what's interesting about this game is how set play heavy it is. I don't know if you guys have noticed this as well, but Street Fighter 4 was a little bit more footsie based. Buttons did more stuff. They went further. They confirmed into other buttons. In this game, it's mostly about getting your set play started. That's where this game is focused. If you can get your set play on people, then boom, you're in the money bags. So I don't know, man. The characters that can like whoop whoop, like Bison in V Trigger. When Bison's in V Trigger, dude, that character's ridiculous. Mika, where she gets in and she has fucking Nadeshiko unblockable guaranteed throw setups and shit. Dude, that shit's so hard to deal with. RTSD. Yeah, dude, RTSD. It's the name of the game. Yo, what's up? Yo, ooh, everybody came through. Crimes. Yo, he's awake. Trenton and Snacks. Everybody's up in it. World Combo was a rage quitter and he got demoted. Yeah, that's the thing. Rage quitters are getting demoted. So it's good, It's definitely a good thing. There can't be no penalty for rage quitting. That's so stupid. like, you know what I mean? That's a really weird thing to do. But that's how they were doing it. Luckily, they're not really doing it like that anymore. But it's still, I don't know, man. I think that they could be taking this whole online thing much more seriously. But then you have people like Nick Tanella, who is arguing for Capcom, saying give it time. You know what I mean? These great games that we're playing, like League of Legends and Counter-Strike and Dota, all these super popular games, they did not start where they are. It took them time to build up to this monster platform. They started much smaller scale. Maybe it was just like a basic matchmaking client, or you could play with some friends. Maybe it wasn't even matchmaking. You just click on your server. That I know Counter-Strike was definitely that way. And then over time, they added on and on and on to the platform with what worked best for their game. But I mean, you can then also make the counter argument that Capcom's has been doing this with Street Fighter 4. They've been building Street Fighter 4 with all these different updates. So now you have games like League of Legends that have been out for the same amount of time as 4, pretty much, maybe a little bit longer. Games like Dota, same situation. And they are significantly more developed than Street Fighter. Although, albeit that they do have much more money flowing into them than Capcom does at the moment. But, yeah, man, I don't know. I think it's really disappointing to see the lack of hype shit from Capcom's side on the online client. They could have made it so much more. When you go into Street Fighter 5, it really feels like the beta. I thought there was going to be way more shit in Street Fighter 5. Maybe they just need to separate it. Make it multiplayer, single player, challenge, and that was survival and trials and all that shit. Just so it felt like there was more shit in the game. Because right now, since everything's in that fucking weird-ass tablet touchpad format, it's like the game doesn't have shit. You get a menu, and then you get a loading screen, and then you get game. That's it. I want menus on menus. Not tedious menus on menus, but make it feel like there's meat. You know what I mean? If you bite into a sandwich, and you have thin-ass lettuce, thin-ass meat, thin-ass cheese, and a tomato, maybe sliced paper, that's a shitty ass sandwich. You know what I mean? People want thick, juicy sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? No homo. So I think the menus are kind of fucked up because they're so flat. There's nothing going on. You know what I mean? It's not a fucking touchpad. It's all bread. You can't have a sandwich that's all bread. Yeah. See, me, Crimes, and Trent, we were talking about this, man. Yeah, you need something else to spice it up. So I don't know, man. It's kind of ridiculous. Okay, let's see. Gotta be careful, Rob. Tekken Tag 2 got a 9 out of 10 review on IGN with the only con being planned menus. Yo, are you serious? They want those thick, juicy peaches. Oh my god. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, that's so. IGN is actually retarded, but you know, uh, I think that the menus, like, I really do think they're important because you spend a lot of time in the menus. Like when you're going from point A to point B, like let's say I'm in training mode, I want to exit out of training mode, I want to go battle lounge so I can fight multiple homies, not just one homie. Uh, I'm gonna be in the menus, and I want these menus to be hype. They got the menu music down, that shit's hype as fuck, but they got the menus all fucked up, and now it's not hype. So, I don't really know what their plan was. I don't really think they were thinking about that. I think they were just like, yo, let's make these tiles. It's just gonna be futuristic as fuck, bro. Look at all these tablets. Like, this is the way of the future. Everybody has like fucking tiles and shit. I think if it were keyboard and mouse, this would make more sense because then you could just whoop, click, go. Or if it were touchscreen, then it would make more sense. But the fact that we're using controllers, like arcade sticks and fucking tapping on D-pads and shit, it just feels tedious. Like, I feel like it should have been up or left, right. Not fucking all around squared circles and shit. I don't know. It was weird. Except Rashid theme. All things in the game are dope, except for Rashid's theme in game. When you listen to Rashid's theme on its own, it's pretty hype. But in the game, that shit sucks, bro. That shit's so bad. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't fit. Maybe it's like if you're getting opened up, if you're getting pressured, you don't want to hear this dude getting cheered on. Like, it's I don't know. It's too much. Too much. All the visuals in the game is fucking dope, minus the clipping. Yeah, what the fuck? Clipping? 2016? Come on. Why are we still clipping? Like, didn't they figure this out? I'm pretty sure that like they figured out how to stop clipping. Like, maybe like a little less, but for the most part, it's like, I think they got that technology unlocked to stop like clipping, like very basic clipping. But everything's fucked up. Like, Vega has fucked up particles. Ken has fucked up particles. Birdie has fucked up particles. I'm sure any character that has something dangling, the particle effect. It's not particle effect, but it's like the movement of it is like weird, and then there's clipping also through the model. I don't know, man. It was interesting. They definitely rushed this game. Like, you can tell they definitely rushed it. But, okay, so let's see. 3 menus are all spaced apart. Get turbulent. SF5 has best Ken theme in history by far. Yeah, see, I agree, dog. The clipping is kind of like, what? Yeah, seriously. Looked at the clipping in the beta and I was like, it'll be fixed. Yeah, no, I think that's the approach that's the mindset that a lot of people had. A lot of people they were like, nah, dude, it's just gonna be fixed. Because why wouldn't it be fixed? It makes sense that it would be fixed. Any, game developer worth half their fucking salt would have fixed it. But it didn't get fixed. So that's weird, you know what I mean? Like, that's weird that is not a priority at Crapcom. I don't know, man. If they did not fix this stuff so they could focus on gameplay, then I completely agree with that decision, because that, as a competitor, that's what I value. But I just don't see why they would have had to make that decision in the first place. That's where my gripe and my confusion lies. So, moving away from Street Fighter V a little bit, I wanted to talk about KI, because that's coming out at the end of the month. I don't really know too much about the game. I've never touched it competitively. I've played it, casually a couple of times at Wednesday Night Fights when it was like first coming out, and they were like, "Yo, play KI. It's only on Xbox One. You have to play with pad." So I fucked with it then. I just like messed around. And it seemed cool, but it's coming to PC at the end of the month. KI is another game that has horrible menus. I saw like the season 1 menu was so much better than the fucking season 2 menu. That shit was gross. Season 2 menu was so gross. The character select screen does not make me want to play the game. It looks like if you had a nightmare and you could hazily like recreate a fucking menu scene that's not like, it's not like the real menu, but your mind is making like a fucked up rendition of it. That's what that shit looks like. It looks really bad. The season 1 was way better. It was way better character selection. And yeah, so in KI's, I think the like music's not that bad, but the menu is so bad. What's going on with these games? These shitty menus, man. Like Marvel 3 had a really hype ass menu. Street Fighter 4 had way better menus than Street Fighter 5. Fucking they went backwards, man. Tekken Tag 2, that menu was a little bit lacking. Just because I felt like it was too distracting in the background. You didn't want to look at the menu thing. I don't know, man. I think people don't put enough focus on that as game developers. And I think it's a really important part of the game. I'm kind of just saying, yeah, I just realized I've only played KI on pad. I think that might be everyone. I think nobody's actually played the game on stick. That's not how that works. I don't know if you're allowed to. Arbiter, boys. Yo, that's pretty hype, though. The last time I played a fighting game that had Halo characters in it, it was fucking Dead or Alive. I think that was like Dead or Alive 4. Master Chief was in that shit. And I remember I was playing against this Helena player online. This was one of the first moments of feeling myself that I can really remember from fighting games. I didn't play competitively at this point. I like played, this is when I was playing like Call of Duty and Rainbow Six. And I was, MLG game battle shit. I was on that, sponsored teams and shit. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? So, so I was playing Dead or Alive. I was playing against this Helena. And I like fucking countered the high hit. Boom, boom, fucked him up. You know what I'm saying? Then he went for the throw. And I fucking, he whiffed the throw. I beat the shit out of him for it. And then he got up and it was really intense. He started beating the shit out of me. Like I was getting fucked up, about to get perfected. And he had a little bit of health left. Like he had a little bit and I had a little bit. And this dude went for some like random ass sweeping move. And I panicked and I fucking like moved the D-pad a bunch and I accidentally pressed up. And Master Chief hopped up over the hop kick and like came down with a button. I was like, oh my god, I did that on purpose. Oh, I'm such a god. That wasn't accidental at all. And I was like, yo, that was some of the hypest shit I could have done. And of course, if you remember the ranking in that game, it was like A, B, C, and D. I think I was like D, or C. And one of the dudes, the early days with Charules, yeah, Charules, young Chuck Taylor. Yeah, the early days of Dead or Alive, man, that shit was crazy. I was super bad at that game, but I still hopped over that Helena's fucking sweep move. That shit was hype. Yeah, so, fucking Halo characters in fighting games, always hype shit, is basically what I'm saying. So yeah, it's really cool that KI has Arbiter. But Arbiter is like big as fuck. Have you seen that dude? He's like as big as fucking Brandon. Like he towers over every other fucking character in the game. It's really interesting that they've made that design choice. Especially since Fulgor is supposed to be tall as fuck. And he looks at Fulgor, he's like, I'm your papa. Look at me. Look. I am papa now. And he becomes, the father. I guess. I don't know. Is that how, maybe that's how height works. So yeah, man. KI is coming to PC. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm definitely gonna check it out. It's like, I don't know. It's cool times. Cool times for fighting games. Street Fighter 5 came out. The new MKX is coming out. KI is coming out. You know what also came out? Gears of War Ultimate Edition came out on PC. You guys hear about that? Neither did I. But apparently it already fucking released. I was gonna fucking buy that game, and now it already came out. So I guess I won't buy that game. It's because like nobody else knew about it, so there's no online community for it. And what the fuck is the point of Gears of War if there's no online community? You know what I mean? I don't know. Too much, too young, too fast is basically how I feel about Gears of War. But yeah, I'm gonna move on to MKX. That game is so stupid. Have you seen fucking Leatherface? Dude, that character is retarded. I was watching CEO. I don't know what the fuck they were doing. It's like some weird little mini CEO tournament. And they had Street Fighter 5. I was watching some of that young Street Fighter 5. And then I was watching what else did I say? I was watching that young I don't remember. It's not important. It was Panda X Gaming. I think that was the CEO one, but there was another one. I think it was Winter Brawl. I was watching Winter Brawl. I don't think the DLC was out then, but like the fucking game looks so crazy now. And Leatherface looks so fucking stupid. He has this move where he just like vroom vroom, and then he runs through projectiles. And then he has this variation called Pretty Lady, where he's wearing a suit with like lipstick on, and he's like a fat piece of shit with a magic chainsaw that he throws. Leatherface is not a magical person. He's a crazy person. That's like the point of Leatherface. And then you have him in NKX with like fucking regenerating chainsaws and shit flying through the air. Like, it's so dumb. Like, he has this move where he puts the chainsaw in you, and like his X-ray, for example, he puts the chainsaw, and for whatever reason, the chainsaw can fly. And then like, he like sticks the chainsaw in you, and then he lets go, and the chainsaw is flying, and it's just like, and you're like getting fucked up by the chainsaw. It's so stupid. Like, it just looks so dumb. Like, the whole concept of it looks so dumb. I don't understand what their design choice was when they made that his X-ray. They could have done so much different. Like, they could have done so much. Like, not having fucking flying chainsaws. But instead, they have magical, like, super gas-powered flying chainsaws. And that's MKX. And also, you know, Alien. I don't know, it's so random. it's really, really random. It's I don't know. Game seems cool, though. It's a relatively fun game, you know, to play and to watch. But there's definitely some random shit going on in there. So yeah, MKX is looking fucking crazy. It's so like not, it's getting really niche, you know, because Street Fighter 5 is out. You know, a lot of the people who are just like, yo, I'm about to play MKX because young Street Fighter 5 is taking too long. I don't want to play 4 no more. I don't like having to play footsies. So then, you know, they play MKX. And then, you know, you get all these fucking broken ass shit in the game. You get these dumbass characters. I think every character except for Triborg was dumb. There's 4 characters in Combat Pack, and all 3 of them are fucking stupid, except for Triborg. But Raicho is dumb as fuck. That Drunken Master variation looks really strong. Leatherface, I don't need to say anything. That character's dumb. Like, the whole concept of Leatherface having magical chainsaws is so stupid. And then Alien is like, what the fuck? Like, why do you have Alien in the game? I'm pretty sure Alien sucks. I haven't seen any Alien players do anything, so I'm just gonna say Alien is free. He's one of those like fan service characters, which is totally fine. But why Boraicho? Why Tanya? Why Tremor? What the fuck? Come on, man. It's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, Jason makes sense because he's magical. You know what I mean? Like, he has some sort of magical element to him. Fucking Leatherface does not make sense. Jason makes sense. Freddy Krueger made sense. Who else was the guest character? Is it just Jason, Freddy Krueger, Predator? Did I say Predator already? Because Predator totally makes sense. Alien does not make sense. No, Alien doesn't make sense. Get the fuck out of here, Lack. What are you talking about? Also, what's up? No way Alien makes sense. Add Sindel, then I'll play. 2016. Put a hashtag before that shit. Post that shit on Twitter, dog. Yo, that shit is true. I don't know. Fuck Sindel, dude. Sindel is always bitch. I don't think guest characters have to make sense. I think they do when you make them tournament viable. Because then you have to watch them being played. So what ends up happening is you have these characters that make sense and that look really cool. Like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, I don't know, those are really cool ones. Oh, Quan Chi is fucking, he looks dope as fuck. Aaron Black looks dope as fuck. Kung Lao looks dope as fuck. Liu Kang, Katana, all these characters fit Mortal Kombat storyline. And they look dope as fuck. This game's like, yo, look how hyped this is. And then you have a fucking Leatherface coming in looking like a fat piece of shit wearing a suit with lipstick on throwing magic chainsaws. That shit does not. It's so stupid when you're watching Top 8 and then the dude comes in. Like, it's so fucking dumb. It breaks the coolness of the game. The game is not cool anymore. The game is dumb. Like, it just makes the game look stupid. Guest characters inherently do not have to be cool, but if you make them tournament viable, then they should be cool. Because, like, if somebody, like, makes top 8 with a character that's kind of goofy, fuck yeah, dude, and they're not that good, then that's dope as fuck. You're doing a good job as a player. But if the character is good as fuck anyways, and then they have magical chainsaws and shit, get that shit out of here. Like, come on, get that ass banned. That shit's not hype. That shit, it is hype from a stupid standpoint. Like, dude, look at how dumb this is. This dude has magical chainsaws. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird. It's like KI. KI is made by fighting game players. And for whatever fucking reason, they made Shadow Jago play in a way that he can zone really well, right? Like his air fireball game is really hard to stop. And then they made, excuse me, then they made the sound clip for his air fireball sound so dumb. Like it's he's like, and it keeps doing that over and over again. If you watch CD Jr. play fucking Shadow Jago, that's literally like you just hear that. You have to hear for like 15, legitimate 15 seconds because the opponent has to try to get in. And of course, to CD Jr.'s credit, he's keeping them out. So this becomes the meta. But when they made the character, they're all fighting game players. They couldn't have anticipated that this was going to become meta and that this dude was going to have to be fucking yelling. People were trying to commentate the match and you could barely even hear them because the dude keeps yelling. Like, it's so... I don't know, man. Like why would you make that design decision? Why would you make that decision? I don't see the reason unless you don't want your game to be taken seriously. Because low-key, I wanted to turn the tournament off while I was watching that shit. Because I was like, yo... Come on. It's like... Excuse me. Stupid as fuck. So CPT coolout. Colored people time coolout. He says Magic Chainsaw is better than Magic Hat. No. Magic Chainsaws are retarded. Magic Hat is not because the character has always had a Magic Hat and it fits the Mortal Kombat storyline. Leatherface has always been a dude. Like, that's the thing. He was just a crazy person. He comes in the Mortal Kombat universe and then, like... Now he has magic chainsaws out of nowhere. Like, just because he's in Mortal Kombat, now his chainsaws are magical. Just make him a dude with chainsaws. You have Stryker, who's literally just a dude with guns. He doesn't have any magic. So just make Leatherface a fucking dude with a chainsaw. Or like a chainsaw and the hammer and like all the other shit that he has. Make that. But don't give him magical... It just looks so stupid. What is the explanation? It does not make sense. Maybe I haven't heard the explanation. But it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, man. I don't know. Ow. I don't know. Okay, Raph, what do you think about Rash and Ki though? Good Kez character? I don't know. Ki is stupid anyway, so maybe it is. I haven't even paid attention. Ki is not stupid. But the fact that they have that blah, 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 that dude makes me think the game is stupid. It really is hard to take it seriously and to see what the players are doing from a competitive standpoint when you're just hearing this dumbass sound clip being played over and over again. I'm serious. If you guys like don't believe me, you should really just look that shit up because it's so fucking stupid. Like it was incredible. I was really surprised that I was watching this and that this was meta. It's like, I don't know. It's really dumb. Why do we need an explanation for a non-story relevant character? Because they're game developers. Like, they're game developers that are taking characters from another universe and putting it into their own universe. So I feel like they should do that character justice. Like, I feel it's no-brainer to me that Leatherface doesn't have any superpowers. That's part of his story. If you want a character with superpowers, they have the whole catalog of Warner Bros. Horror movies to choose from, presumably. And maybe they don't. But if they, like, let's say they had to make Leatherface. Warner Bros. Was like, look, you're going to put Leatherface in the game. Then why did they give him magical chainsaws and then make the magic chainsaw variation tournament viable? Don't make it tournament viable if it's just for casuals. Because then it doesn't matter if he's shitty or not. People are still going to be like, yo, but Leatherface is the dopest. And they're going to, like, try to body their friends with Leatherface. It's going to happen anyways. So it's, like, just don't make them tournament viable if they're going to be stupid as fuck. If you want your game to be taken seriously competitively. If every other character in the game is at a certain level of seriousness, and then another character is just dumb as fuck, and then that character starts showing up at tournaments and makes the game look stupid, then I don't appreciate that. I think that's kind of lame. I think the game should look cool. I think it's cool when stuff looks cool, and then when stuff looks stupid, it looks stupid. I don't know. It's weird. I guess look at Marvel vs. Capcom. The integrity of the Marvel characters are held up. Hulk can't randomly fly. Exactly. Yeah, Hulk can't randomly fly. He doesn't have magic, like, fucking fist projectiles now, even though you could probably explain that as Hulk. But Hulk plays like Hulk. She-Hulk plays like She-Hulk. Spencer plays like Spencer. But Cap can double jump. Yeah, I mean, that one's a little weird. But Iron Man can't. That's a balance thing. Because Iron Man can fly. So, yeah, I'm okay with that. They're true to the character, and I think that's because Marvel made a bit more sense. Sub-Zero makes ice sculptures of himself that and throws them at you, freezing you. He doesn't freeze you if the ice clone hits you. Plus, the ice clone makes sense from Sub-Zero's character. I don't think that's a valid point. Ice clone makes sense for Sub-Zero. I can definitely see that working for the character. Oh, Captain Zer's double jumps. Don't hate my main, please. Marvel 3 is so balanced, though. You know, I mean, regardless of the game's balance, they still kept the characters true to their own, like, you know, their own thingamabobber. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's a really interesting choice from NetherRealm Studios to make Leatherface like that. I don't know. I don't really feel too good about it. You know, KI is doing the same thing with Arbiter, but Arbiter looks pretty dope, and he doesn't magically have stuff. You know? So, Lag, I know I shouldn't be replying to you because you're not listening to the points that I'm making, and I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. But it's not the fact that there are magical chainsaws. It's the fact that you have a character that never had magical chainsaws. Now he has magical chainsaws. Like, he's from another universe. Because now he's in this universe, he has magical chainsaws. And the animations look stupid. Ice Clone's animation doesn't look stupid. These things, like, if you put something in the game, if it's not, like, if the game is otherwise serious, like the entire game, the animations do not look cheesy. They look either realistic or like they have a direction towards them. Like, they're very focused on looking a certain way. Like, they're supposed to look cool. Like, Scorpion was redesigned to look cool. Sub-Zero was redesigned to look cool. Like, that was the whole point of them. Like, cool, or, you know, whatever, make your fucking cold puns. And then you have, like, certain characters that are there for comic relief. Like, Johnny Cage definitely, like, says some funny stuff. Cassie Cage says funny stuff. Every character has, like, the little funny stuff that they say. But at the end of the day, even if their playstyle has some comical points, their overall design still has that same feel and direction to it. And then you have a character that comes in from, and he's a guest character, so you should, and he fits this universe. Like, you could totally make him to fit this universe. And then he has, like, a ton of dumb moves that don't make sense. Like, his whole moveset looks stupid. Like, he's like, rah, rah, like running around, fucking smacking around chainsaws with one hand. I don't know if you guys have ever picked up a chainsaw. That shit's heavy as fuck. You cannot be, like, overhead swinging it, bringing it around town, and, like, there's a reason why you hold chainsaws with two hands. Like, that shit is heavy, and that shit, like, it bounces, so you have to hold it. You can't be vroom, 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 vroom. Like, it's so stupid, man. I don't know. It's really dumb. Let's see what Barnesi said. Is it weird that I'm most looking forward to Marvel at EVO this year? It might be last year, it'll be there. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Marvel is definitely one of the most hype games around. Like, it definitely brings so much creativity. Like, the team composition, I've seen a lot of really creative teams that are really dangerous in this game. And the players are so used to playing against, like, Zero and playing against Virgil, that the fact that they're so strong doesn't really matter against these people, because they have so much experience and they've developed such strong counterplay to it. Marvel as a game to watch is incredibly capturing and I really enjoy watching high-level Marvel. Playing that game, fuck that game. Virgil is fucking stupid as fuck. Zero's stupid as fuck. You have to be a significantly better player than the Zero player or than the Virgil player to beat them in neutral as certain characters. And I don't appreciate that. Hulk struggle. Yeah, let's see. That's what he does in the movies, though. One-handed overhead, like this in the movie. Is he doing that? Because that's what he's doing in MKX. He's going like... I've never seen him do that in the movie. It's mostly like this type stuff. But, you know, maybe I was watching the wrong movies, man. Maybe I was watching the wrong movies. Yeah, he definitely has some, like... He has, like, a lot of movie homages, like the fucking running with the chainsaw and, like, the fact that it's, like, a running overhead thing. But then, like, the chainsaw dust, that's kind of weird. I don't know. I mean, I kind of understand that. I understand that much more than the shit just fucking, like, appears back on his back. No, no, Brandon. I'm keeping it. So I already have a guest, man. I can't add people to the Skype call with my guest in here. Yeah, it's too that's too much. It's too much. I gotta let him speak. Y'all can see and talk to and interact and feel these nuts. So that's where we're at. Maybe you aren't up to date on your dank memes as Ed Boon style. Maybe. Maybe that's what it is. That's probably what it is. Yeah, my memes aren't dank enough. Dude, this shit is so fucking stupid. I don't know. I don't know, man. No, bro. Fuck you, Barneasy. That's not the tier list, man. It's just like, yo, there was hella peeps that could have been on the podcast. And since there was hella peeps, I couldn't have like 6 peeps up in here. So I'm like, yo, I'm just going to do the podcast with these nuts. And then the homies will be in the chat, and I'll just interact with them there. And then we'll go back and forth, So that was the plan, bro. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Lots of majors coming soon. NCR and Final Round, even West Coast Warzone. Yeah, seriously. Street Fighter is there's gonna be some interesting stuff. Street Fighter, Marvel, and MKX definitely has like a lot of tech that can be uncovered. Definitely a lot of tech that can be uncovered. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a really interesting year. Is there any points that I haven't brought up or stuff that happened this week that you'd like to talk about? People in the chat room. I'll ask this as I sip some tea. Oh man. Oh. Excuse you. Man, that shit is good. What is the most advanced SF5 tech so far? Laura Oki. I think Laura Okazumi. That's probably the most advanced thing, because it's off of so many different situations. It's such like specific stuff that you have to react to. That's the main thing that I would say is like, maybe, I don't know, it's either that or just like the way that the game excuse me, the way that the game played. Let me think about this. In 4, the thing that you had to do is you had to like hit your combos. That was the execution requirement. In 5, the new execution requirement is one hit confirming. So like the equivalent in the previous game was like, if you did low forward with Cammy, if it hit, you would do the spiral arrow, and if they blocked it, you wouldn't do anything, and you would be safe off the low forward. If you same thing with Sakura with her DP, so you would do like the low forward. If it hits, you do uppercut. If it doesn't hit, you don't do anything. That is like the new fucking jive in Street Fighter V. That's the new thing. Every character has shit like that. Ken has it off back strong. Birdie has it off stand strong. Cammy has it off low forward. Laura has it off low forward. Ryu has it off fucking crouch strong and stand strong. Who else? Name any character in the game basically, and they have that. Fucking Mika has it off the clap. You would do clap, and then if it hits, you throw him, and if it don't hit, you don't throw him. That's like the new shit. That's 100% the new shit in Street Fighter V. Reminds me of Stamab being extra godlike with crouch jab and Rekas. Stamab. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Stan me and punch me extra godlike Stamab. Oh, Star Lab. That was supposed to be Star Lab. Star Nab? Whoa. Is his name Star Nab? Or is it Star Lab? I thought it was Star Lab. Man, reading is hard. Okay, so let's see. Stamap, the French fake player. Yeah, man. Ugh. It's okay, it is Star Nab. Cool. Well, who knows? Star Sab. Star Spab. Wednesday fights this week? Yeah, I mean I'm down. If you're actually gonna be able to make it, man, I'm down. I'm super down. And you were a fake player, shit, man. Yo, what was Starnap doing it for, bro? What was Starnap doing it for? He made top 8 in a major for the dead game, bro. I always thought it was Star Lab. I don't follow European scene, bro. Them shit, those dudes weak as fuck. They only got Phenom and Luffy. That's it. Phenom, well, Ryan Hart and Luffy, and you know, the Fuerte player. And they got a couple of good players, but you know, it's easy to make jokes, so that's what I'll do. Yeah, I think pretty much. We should get some games in. Okay, blah blah blah. People talking. Guess you covered rage quitting. Yeah, rage quit gate. Yeah. Smite season 3 on Xbox. Laura got a shit ton of situational me's and cross unders on last frame. Wednesday fights where I go to remind myself I'm only a god online. Yo, fucking the chosen one. Yeah, I mean Wednesday fights is pretty cool. I've been enjoying it. I don't know, it's weird. I'm in a weird Wednesday fight situation. But if you were to just go to Wednesday fights and play in the tournament, it's a really sick place because you can go and like meet people and hang out and all that. But yeah, Wednesday Lemon Crimes knows. Wednesday fights is interesting. It's cool though. I recommend it to anyone in the SoCal area. You should absolutely go and show up. And if I'm there and you're there, fucking say what's up and be like, yo, what's Gucci with it though? The one dude, 1 hour, that's it? Stop being a bitch, Barnese. Oh my god. If people only have 1 hour drives to Wednesday fights, if Prague only had a 1 hour drive to Wednesday fights, he would be in there. Oh my god. Feels bad, man. Yeah, Wednesday fights is definitely interesting. Yeah, Chocobo knows. He's been behind the scenes, man. This is your inside. This is your inside man for fucking Wednesday night fights. We all yeah, man. This is the dude. He knows what's up. Him and Gobay, they're Illuminati. They're Wednesday night fights Illuminati shit. So. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. It's been like 45 minutes. I'm just going to cut it short so I don't repeat myself too much. Thank you very much, D's Nuts, for making it on the show. I wish you the best of luck in your presidential campaign. You know, good shit. Shout outs to D's Nuts. Yeah, y'all. It was good shit. I've been Silent Mathematics. Thank you guys very much for chilling and stopping by. You guys know you're the coolest. If anybody wants to play some Street Fighter 5, that's probably what I'm going to do next. I may or may not stream it. I may also just go to sleep. I don't know. I've been really tired lately. I've been staying up way too late and waking up way too early. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching, y'all. Third Pixel Podcast. Next week, hopefully a fucking guest will make it and be here. Not guest, host. Co-hosts will not. Both cancel on the day of the podcast, 5 minutes within each other. Who the fuck does that? Can we just say, all right, end of the podcast, fucking shots fired time. I just want to say, fuck you, Nick, and fuck you, Prague, for canceling on the day of the podcast. Not even the day before. The day of the podcast. Y'all do this as bitches. Y'all can eat a dick. Fuck y'all.